Good Saturday, everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for swinging by. Love having you here. Thank you very much. So this is going to be my new comic book day haul video. I've been able to read about through half of my stack, so today we'll split this video up into things I have read and things I have not read. Also, we'll do a quick update on the contest to see where everybody's at and make sure everybody's comfortable with it. And then last but not least, I'm going to have a special shout out to all my special subscribers out there. Last night, apparently, I got a huge boost in subscribers. It was weird. So thank you for swinging by. Like, you're not weird, it's just weird that it happened right now, and at a perfect time, because you'll be able to enter our contest that ends April the 15th. Also, if you'd like a review of the comic books that we're going to do besides what we're doing here, blast it or stash it Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube. Definitely come by and check us out. Myself, Huey's Comics, Spectacular Spider Grandpa, Drew Manchu, Paul, the Midwest guy, and myself, we all sit down and we review comic books, and we have a live chat going. So if you see something that you want us all to review, definitely let us know in that live chat so we can interact with you and get that kind of stuff going out there and keep that community of goodness going. I've decided to start drinking coffee during my videos because I've seen other people do it, and I want to know if it feels awkward. Yes, it feels awkward. Kudos to you guys that do it. I don't know how. It just feels weird to me. Alright, moving on. Let's go ahead and do the books that I have read this week, and then we'll move on to the ones that I'm about to read. So we'll start off with, of course, the one that everybody's talking about, Immortal Hulk. This is number 16. Man, we got some good stuff going on in here. And I called it. Like, I hate bragging, but I called it. I called it on Blaster or Stash It when everybody was saying it's going to be the female Red Hulk. It's going to be the female Red Hulk. I was like, I don't know, maybe Harpy. Well, technically, we were all wrong. Or it's Red Harpy, I think is what they're going to call it with the bright red feathers. So that's interesting. Bad things happen to Doc Samson, which is kind of sad. And also, we get a possible maybe for Joe Fixit. Joe Fixit, in my book, was always the coolest Hulk out there. He wore gangster clothing and rocked Tommy guns. Yeah, that Hulk character did that, believe it or not. And they called him Joe Fixit, or Mr. Fixit. And he was always strutting around with babes. It was crazy. It was straight gangster, like old school mafia gangster stuff. So I'm kind of excited to see that. Plus, he's been kind of, if you've been reading the Avengers, his personality's been kind of shifting toward that as well. You know, like he actually wanted to get paid for doing something. And so that's going to be interesting. I don't want to harp too much on it. Trust me, we'll beat that one up on Blaster or Stash It Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Another book that I read, Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History. This one and the last one focused on the Fantastic Four. This one's focusing on Spider-Man and the various things in his life. And thank you, Cosmic Ghost Rider, for stopping that abomination, that abortion of a comic book series, the Spider Clones. That thing was garbage. Nobody liked it. Nobody cared. And Frank Castle said, nope, I'm going to go ahead and end this disaster right now. Thank you for that, sir. You are an American hero. Thank you. And if you liked it, like, no offense to you or anything, but read better stuff. Like, right? Sorry. Next one I read was Hot Shots. I try to give issues, or new issues that come out, at least 2 issues, to try to do something to develop some sort of story. This one has. It legitimately has, but I think I'm going to drop it anyway. I'm really not just digging it. It just kind of reads weird, I guess is the best way to put it. So I don't think I'm going to be picking this up too much more. It's not that anything was wrong with it. It just wasn't gripping me in a way I feel a comic book should grip me. And now there's going to be like 1,000 sexual comments now that I just said that. All right, next one is Sector Zero. This is through Image Comics. This is actually a pretty good read if you like the various characters handling paranormal type investigations, Secret, Squirrel, and all that other deliciousness. If you're that kind of reader, definitely. What I did find out, though, from somebody is this is not actually the first time this book has been published. This book was published 10 years ago by another publisher. And apparently Image bought it and did some of their Image goodness to it and really kind of updated it. I like the art in it. I like where the story's going. It's kind of an oddball story with oddball characters all trying to accomplish an oddball mission. If that sounds cool to you, that's definitely the book to pick up I think they had 3 or 4 variants. Time for awkward sip of coffee. All right, moving on. Oh, you want to talk about a weird book? Ahoy Comics has been getting some weird stuff out there, and this is no exception. Bronze Age Boogie. I liked it. Like, that's the best way to review this book. I genuinely kind of liked it. At first, it kind of was disrupting because there was some jumping around in times or realms. I'm still not sure yet. But the characters are definitely quirky. There's talking monkeys in it, which makes me happy. I'm okay with that. That's the child in me. Apparently, we got a talking bear at the end as well. We got some action, kind of some Conan-esque type battle going on in here with wizards and stuff. And then on the other hand, in this other realm that are going to be kind of blended together through a character, we have 1970 in early 1970 in its prime, right? So yeah, I know that's not a very good review, but I highly suggest reading it. If you see it, just go on and pick it up, and just kind of thumb through it. I think you'll see what I'm talking about. It's hard to review this kind of book because it's for one thing, it's all over the place. Second of all, it's all over the place in a good way, so it's really kind of hard to kind of pinpoint and hold on to something. It's very interesting. Next book that I read, Uncanny X-Men number 15. Man, is this just getting better. Cyclops is literally a Cyclops now. Boom. Spoiler. Sorry, he finally matches his name. Thank you, Lord Jesus. So yeah, that happened. Captain Rogers decides to come up and try to play Mr. Utilitarian. That didn't work out for him. He basically got blown off, and we got mutants fighting mutants. And we got some interesting stuff going on with Cable's daughter and all that going on. Again, I don't want to really spoil that for you because I know some people get big stacks of comic books, so I don't want to spoil everything that I read. But it's an interesting story on the standpoint of obligation and family. I'm going to go there. What is your obligation to your family? How does that work? And then they had an interesting little interlude in there with the old and the new having their argument back and forth about it. I found that to be interesting. So how does that fit into your life or your society? I think it definitely addressed that in a lot of realistic mannerisms that we generally see from the generation coming up and the generation of old. And then there's my generation kind of there in the middle, like, everybody just chill out, dude. We just want to do X Games and rollerblade. Alright, let's do that one for last, because I'm really going to blast that one. Alright, so Avengers No Road Home. Hey, man, this is the story to be reading. If you like Hulk and Rocket and all these other characters, my favorite panel in this, and this is going to be horrible, but remember, she is a villain. I'm going to say that. This particular person is a villain. Is when Hulk gets tired of her, grabs her by the face, and just pretty much just throws her halfway across this barren world that they're in of dreams. God, that was just, I was like, oh my God. And then this mysterious house that keeps popping up. I think we know what that one's about. If you don't know what the house is, I don't know, you're kind of weird. The house is significant that keeps popping up everywhere with the light inside of it. What did this book really deal with? Oh man, this has been a smorgasbord of philosophy going on in here, and the biggest piece of philosophy in it is regret and misery, and what role should it play in your life. That's the Uzo's character. That's power. It gives you regret and reading through it and how do you get through it. I thought Hercules did the best point. He sacrifices, it is a sacrifice. It's an emotional sacrifice. Maybe not a hard sacrifice. But his sacrifice to help his friend, who he sees in danger, I should say. And him constantly, he knows he's a goofball. He knows he sounds weird. And it just constantly plagues on him. And I thought they did the best job of all when they're sitting there dealing with regret. And I gotta find this page for you guys. It was just epic. Where is it? It's when he sees Uzo and he sees the misery and despair, which is what the character represents to some degree, and he steps on it. Where did it go? It's in there. There it is. So, in the panel here, there's troubles and worries. And then he realizes, regret and misery and all that it's such a small thing. And he just has to squash it out sometimes. I thought that was I think that's a great analogy, and I think that's something that a lot of people have problems with, especially if you're dealing with issues, like anxiety or awkwardness or something along those lines. That is such a small thing, but in your head it seems so big. And sometimes you just got to squash that out to do the things that you want. I don't mean to go on a harp on this one, but this book has really been reflecting a lot to people that have issues, worries, concerns, whatever your thing is. Like in the last issue where they dealt with duality. I'm really liking this book, both on a deep level and both on its shallow level of just good art and Hulk grabbing people in the face and throwing them. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm still kind of geeking out on it. All right. Next. Okay, we'll go ahead and talk about this. Major X. Man, thank you, Liefeld, for proving to us that you haven't changed a thing in your 20-some-odd years, 30-some-odd years of comic book drawing. Like, it should have been a good story. Like, legit. It should have been a good story. And I don't know what it is with Liefeld. Sometimes I think he just gets in a hurry and he forgets to draw, like, a neck or disproportionate shoulders or, body parts. I don't know. This thing. And everything in it was, I guess, supposed to be some sort of epic motion. Like the two Deadpools fighting. Everybody's from a different dimension. He really likes to hang on to that dimensionality. And I get it. I guess it's relevant. But we didn't get the Deadpool that we're used to. Even our Deadpool on, and we'll just say this Earth, right? We'll just say that. Was it even relative to any degree? And also, what is this? What is this? Why is that in here? Why does... I don't know. Also, I don't know anybody that has, like, 12 abs. Like, legitimately. It's like he's phoning it in, folks. Yeah, the story, the art, he's like, hello? Yeah, just do this. Yeah, that way everybody knows it's me. Yeah. Okay, bye. Legitimately, I think that's what he's doing. Awkward sip of coffee. So yeah, that and I'm gonna really blast it on Blaster Station because it's garbage. Next, I'm gonna say the saddest story in all week, and mind you, you would really have to top it with the stack that I haven't read yet. Hunt Amazing Spider-Man. Man, I actually felt bad for the character in here. Oh my god, it's so sad. And I know a lot of people have been blasting this, and it's not their cup of tea, because it does get really, like, sad. Like, it is sad. I mean, just somebody that just never had any luck, and when a piece of light would shine in his face, like, being with a particular woman, and then that just gets taken, everything gets taken away from this character. So it only makes sense that they would be a bad guy, but even in their death, I mean, even his heroic death, where he should say last words, he even says, I am even dying wrong. I don't even have any words. It was just epically sad. I'm almost scared to ask my wife to read it, because I think she'd start crying. And it's easy to make fun of that kind of stuff, but, sometimes people feel that way. They feel that, they just can't get anything done right, and I think this comic book kind of reflects that, and the writer of it definitely understands it, because... there was no harping on the good things that did happen in his life. Yeah, there was a glimpse of it, but then it was always foreshadowed into some sort of terrible thing. That was a rough one. Awkward sip of coffee. So yeah, that was definitely probably one of the saddest moments this week in comic books, to watch that character pass away. But, got to take the good with the bad, and I think hopefully that comic book teaches people that at a minimum. Alright, so next, I got War of the Realms. I have not read it yet. I've been saving these for last because I really want these fresh on my brain for Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Blaster Stash It show. But I did get some great covers, like just stupid, sick covers. And yes, I got a couple of them because I'm an idiot. Black and white. And, of course, because it's a major event, I got my famous 2 per store handouts, I guess. And I got these at a great price. So that was really cool that Zeno's Books over in Chesapeake, Virginia really kind of hooked me up on a decent price for those. And, of course, I had to get that one. I was only going to get 3 variants. And then I saw that one, and I was like, well, first off, this was supposed to be like one of the more rarer variants, the 1 in 25 or something like that. And they backlogged that into the standard issue. But still, I already had my mind set on it. And, yeah, I'll be honest. Out of all of these, they're a little too busy for me. I think I like this one the best. Call me weird. Weird. So I went ahead and got those. Have not read those yet. Deadpool number 11, because every now and then a Deadpool variant just looks great in a comic book box. It legitimately does. I'll be reading this today and getting caught up on that. Captain America. This is number 7. Hopefully Captain America actually starts doing things in this comic book. Please. I'm a huge Captain America fan. What I can't do is constantly have Peggy Carter and everybody else doing everything in a Captain America comic book. It drives me crazy. I don't buy it to see these other people. But, however, a good note, we do get the Daughters of Liberty in this one. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I'll buy that. This is their first cover appearance. So that should be entertaining as well. I'll buy off on it. I said I wouldn't get any more Wonder Woman. I said I was done with it. I was done with it. Then they turn around. It's like the people that do the art in this know me. Because if you stick an eagle on something, America, of course I'm going to buy it. And yeah, my name's Joey Pocan, or Pocan Joe as most people would call me. Yeah, I'm going to buy an eagle. So yeah, I let you all down again on that one. Sorry. But if I have it, I have to read it. So that's going to happen. Next, I bought this just for the sheer funness of it. I believe it's J. Scott Campbell book, and it's Danger Girl 3D. I think he kind of picked up this run and started doing it. It comes with 3D glasses, and of course there's big booties and big boobies. Booties and boobies. Got a little B&B action going on in here with 3D glasses. So honestly, I bought it just to see how ridiculous that would be. My wife isn't too impressed with that, but hey, let's see what happens. Let's see here. Man, lots of good stuff still. All right, Die, number 5. Quick synopsis of this. From what I understand, they changed a rule in this, so that should be very interesting. Man, if you're not reading Die, I feel sorry for you. Look, if you just absolutely refuse to buy Die, comment down below. Down here someplace, and let me know. I'll read these to you on YouTube. This is a great story. Definitely get yourself some Die. Pick up, I don't care what issue you pick up. Pick up any one of the issues and read it. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I got to know what happened before. Because they leave off cliffhangers very well in this one. Another one that I got that I absolutely enjoyed, it does not get enough credit, is Night Moves. Man, we got Vegas, we got magic, we got an old man telling a kid a story. We don't know if any of this stuff is true or make-believe. But what we do have is a great story about magic in Las Vegas, like in the glory days of Vegas, before it became a family destination when gangsters hung out there. This is just fun reading. Oh man, I can't wait to dive. I should have read that one first this week. I really, because I want to tell you more about it, but I haven't read it. Next, we got Red Sonja, number 3. So she's tricked the invading emperor and decided to take her and her new clan or kingdom or whatever you want to call them and made them raiders, and they're going to go pillage and just be nomads at this, or at least that's where they left us off and thinking. So yeah, ready to pick that back up. Plus this beautiful cover right here. I'm sorry. That was the cover to get. I know everybody wanted the one where she was standing with her legs slightly spread, but that is just stoic in its own right and really speaks to what Sonja is. Next, Young Justice. Dun, dun, dun. I've been reading this because I've honestly been trying to give these Wonder Comics a fair shot. So far, the only 2 that I've actually been able to stomach on a more than 2-issue run is Young Justice, which on the last issue almost got me. I almost dropped it. I honestly did. But I figured I'd give them the chance because I understand you got to do filler issues. Okay, fine. Let's see what happens. This is the issue to convince me to keep buying. And the other one that I've actually genuinely been kind of interested in is Naomi. I think that's an interesting book. It's a little slow, but it's more, and I like a good mystery, and that's pretty much where they're leading off. Awkward sip of coffee time. So let's see where that goes and how that's interesting. I think I put too much sugar in it. That meaning I put 1 teaspoon of sugar in it just to give it a kick. Next, Conan. Bum, bum, bum. Honest to God, if I don't get something about the Scarlet Witch and those 2 weird-ass kids in this issue, I'm going to drop this. I'm tired of buying this and expecting there to be a storyline and being told something from the past that's irrelevant to the story today. They're taking too long. I like the story, don't get me wrong, but there's other comic books I could be buying, and you're not focusing in on the story. So I don't have time for that. I can always come back to it later and catch up. So hopefully I'm wrong about that. Let's find out. Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blast or Stash It. By then I'll have it read, and we'll find out. Next, Green Lantern. Man, I almost dropped Green Lantern, and I'm so happy I didn't. Yeah, because it was just like, it was kind of weird. There still is a lot of open-ended stories that kind of need to be kind of tightened up here soon, and they're kind of started doing that. Like, for instance, Earth is still quarantined from what I understand. There's still Green Lantern or somebody like a Green Lantern chained up in a cosmic thing where he's hooked up to it. They didn't explain that. There's this god that now owns Earth, and we never really got conclusion to that. And now all of a sudden, Green Lantern has to kill Doc Strange, or what's his name? I know his name. Adam Strange. And I'm a huge, I have his Golden Age stuff, and I forgot his name. Adam Strange. So yeah, they got a lot going on in here. And some of it's kind of awkward and weird, and I don't know. But I've been liking this story with Adam Strange, and honestly, that's the only reason why I've been hanging on, is because I am a fan of Adam Strange as a whole. Let's see, we talked about Die. I don't know why that's there. All right, next. I picked this up on a whim. Honestly, I'm speculating on it, to be honest, and that's about it. And that's the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So what's the speculation on it? I think when season 2 comes out on Netflix, I think a lot of the books that came out recently are going to be more geared towards that, as you can tell with the white hair and everything else. So that gives the comic book run, and this is not part of the comic book run. That should be known. Right? This is more like a trade paperback, and I believe there's several stories in it. I may be wrong on that one. No, there are several stories in it. Looks like about 2 or 3. And we also get an origin story about the cat and who he used to be in this particular issue. Awkward sip of coffee. So, good stuff there. All right, so what's new in the news? Let's see here. First off, cons that are coming up. Me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa went and had a ramen lunch the other day on New Comic Book Wednesday, actually. And we decided that we wanted to do the Tidewater Comic Con in Virginia Beach, Virginia, which is that would be the closest con to us, because he lives in Virginia Beach, and I'm right on the outskirts in Chesapeake. So we're definitely going to hit that one up. That's probably one of the bigger ones down here in the Hampton Roads area of Virginia. There's a couple of other ones throughout Virginia, and then there's tons of meetups. Meetups seem to be the thing to do here, not so much cons, but whatever. And I think we may try to fit something in the summertime. We've been talking about the one down in Durham, the Bowl Comic Con, I believe is what they call it. Thank you, Gretzky, for giving us a heads up on that one. We're going to do our best to make that one. Our wives are starting to get a little bit more cross-armed with us. You know what when your wife does this? And when the wife gets all cross-armed. And it looks like we're going to do Baltimore again this year. So we're probably going to Baltimore Comic Con. Man, I can't wait for that one. That's going to be a great one. That's probably going to be C2E2 and Baltimore are probably our 2 biggest ones. So that's going to be pretty awesome. Awkward sip of coffee. After that, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be our con route this week. I think we're going to do more at cons. As you saw, cons are where it's at. It's where you meet your YouTubers. It's where you meet your cosplayers. It's just where you get to meet everybody, do a little shopping, and then at night, break bread with one another and clink glasses of scotch or beer or whatever your thing is. So yeah, it was really fun, and it starts to feel more like an actual convention than just a huge swap meet to me. I know it's a horrible thing to say, but it is a convention, and I want to meet people when I go to conventions. I go to conventions all the time. I'm always at a convention. And I'm liking the way this one's going, or this new kind of format that we're following. I think it's very important to meet each other. Right, so we're going to do that. So that means me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa are probably going to launch a couple of more auction sites through our good friends over at People's Auction House. They've been gracious enough to kind of cut us a deal on the fees and allow us to run comic book lots through them. So we'll get that out to you. I'm sure you'll find some things that you want in there, both back issue stuff along with some premium stuff. And again, pay what you're comfortable with. Yeah, I think everything starts off at $3. So you're getting a deal no matter what. Pay what you're comfortable paying. All right, so moving on to more news. My contest. Contest. So right now we've had 2 people officially enter the contest. And that's Metarock. By the way, Metarock, thank you very much. Great analogy of utilitarianism and deontism as well. That would have been the conflicting view in that one. Great stuff though. I really appreciate it. And Ruben Nieves, good job on the psychological on evil and is it a necessary. I liked that. That was very smart, very intuitive of Amber Zimmerman's book Born to Be Evil. I thought that was really good. I went ahead and sent out a couple of invites to some other YouTubers out there that I know of, that I know kind of speak to this kind of stuff on some basis, just to kind of get some interest drawn. Now, look, the contest ends April the 15th, and if you stayed on this long, you might as well go ahead and make a video for it. You're already at the computer. So check it out. Something philosophical, something psychological from a comic book that spoke to you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it gave you the goosebumps, and you're like, oh my God. Even if you don't understand the verbiage, you understand the concept. So please pick a comic book that speaks to some sort of concept and how you see it. You can enter twice. You can enter on the psychological and the philosophical one, because they're technically 2 contests. So feel free to do that. Again, that ends April the 15th. No particular time, because I'll make a list as I go, and I'll probably have a video out shortly after that announcing the 2 winners. What do you win? You win a box. You can't really see that. It's about that big. And it's going to be full. Let's say this is the bottom. It's going to be full of stuff. All right, a box for each one of those. I don't want to call them mystery boxes, but there's going to be some great stuff in there for you. If you've seen this channel, you know the things that I buy and collect. So you know I don't buy a whole lot of garbage. Like I don't mean to make fun of anybody's mystery boxes, and that's not the point of this. But you know I don't buy junk. I buy nice variants. I buy great stuff, and my wife has been gracious enough to throw in some really interesting things in there that she collects as well, and so we're very stoked about that. And hey, we're on our way to 200 at this point. I may go ahead and do another 200 video or 200 one. I don't know. I like doing contests. I like doing kind of weird quirkiness. Again, don't overthink this contest, and trust me, these are boxes that you are going to want. So yeah, just pick something from a comic book that really spoke to you and speak to it. You won't be let down, I promise you. What's the worst thing that can happen? You not get picked and somebody else gets picked. Somebody did bring in an interesting message. What is the criteria of winning this contest? Whatever I like. It's my contest. So, and I promise you, if you have fun with it, it will show in your video. So yeah, don't get hung up on that at all. Next, thank you for all the new subscribers out there. Wow, I want to go over everybody's name. I wish I could bring them up to some way, shape, or form. But I think I can. Hold on, let's see here. We got tons and tons. JP Budget Collecting, I know I see you in a lot of chat rooms. Thank you very much. Mr. Grill, thank you very much. Nerds and Geeks, man, love the name, and thank you for subscribing. That is really huge. Let's see here. I think that's all I got for this week. But still, 3 people in a few days, that's kind of a big jump for me. I don't have a large channel. So thank you very much, guys. I do appreciate it. Guys, we're on 30 minutes with a lot more stuff. Seems like the longer I do this, the longer my videos get. That was horrible wording. I really need to start editing. Anybody want to teach me how to edit videos? That would be awesome. Awkward sip of coffee. All right, so as a final point, if you've watched this video all the way through, you have been told 4 different things in philosophy, and you've been told 6 things in psychology, and you even learned a little bit about hypnosis. Yeah, you did. Did it work is a different story, but you learned how repetitiveness works. If you don't believe me, you can always check us out on Blaster and Stash at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on YouTube. Okay, guys. So definitely, if you want to enter the video and you're trying to figure out what to do, go back and watch this video. There's some answers in there for you. Again, I cannot make this any easier for you. Please sign up. You're going to love these boxes. Guys, I don't have anything else to say other than if nobody's complimenting you today, be you. You're doing fine. Don't worry about it. And see y'all soon. Bye.